Welcome to this episode of Kennedy Saves the World. It's happy hour. I hope you put your dancing shoes on, because Maksim Chmerkovskiy, who is a champion on Dancing with the Stars, is here with his vodka. It is called Tetra Kapa, and it is hopefully beautiful. Max, welcome to Kennedy Saves the World.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Cheers to dancing, family, and bringing light into every ballroom.
I love that. Let's
Amen.
do that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good vodka.
What is this called?
This is a transfusion. So it's vodka, ginger ale, grape juice, and a little bit of lime juice. This is a great backyard barbecue drink. This is something that you would make for your friends if you're grilling burgers and steaks in your backyard.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know with LA fire regulations if you're allowed to grill anymore.
Yes. Just not in foresty.
No, and no open flame.
Flame.
You gotta have like propane or
Common sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's it has been an interesting road for you. So you were born in Soviet-controlled Ukraine.
I was 1980. Yeah, it was still that, and it's very interesting because I got to experience it. I still remember it. I came here when I was 14. I finished 9 grades.
Wow.
So I was an educated Ukrainian.
And showed up in New York?
Showed up in Brooklyn in 94 and was
got your
shocked.
rollerblades stolen? I read that on Wikipedia. It made me very sad.
I mean, what a great story. It's a great story. It's my like The Rock has his $7 story.
Yeah.
This is kind of that. It's my origin story.
Yeah.
It's something I fall back on and yeah, look how far we made it.
It lit a fire underneath you, but also so oftentimes in our country, we refer to rollerblades as fruit boots.
Really?
Yes.
Never heard that. Not one time have I heard fruit boots.
Fruit boots, yeah.
Maybe no. I grew up in Brooklyn and East Coney Island and New York in general. I never heard fruit boots.
Yeah, so fruit boots. So now you know. So if you had kept the fruit boots, you might not have become like a celebrated, internationally renowned dancer.
Well, no, fruit boots.
You'd be skating all around instead of dancing for your life.
Yeah, no. It was not my favorite pastime. It wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
I had a lot of time spent in dance studio and restaurants working dance as a dancer and then competing and then teaching and so on and so forth.
When did you realize, so you were dancing in the restaurant. When did you realize that you could go from dancing in the restaurant to actually making money dancing? Because maybe you were making money in the restaurant dancing.
When I wanted to ask for, this is true story, I wanted to ask for a raise. Mm-hmm. When I got the job, I was like 15 years old, so I didn't really negotiate. I just kind of took whatever I was given. And then I said, you know what if and it was $25 a show and around midnight. So for about 30 minutes, I do the show, $25. I thought I was winning. And, I wanted to make it 35. And I felt like if I had anxiety having to go and negotiate money with an adult. Yeah. And so I decided, but if I come back with a trophy of any sort, like, look, I won Philadelphia Open, why not? You know, I would like a raise. I felt like that would have been a better trade-off.
But that's a good work ethic because you wanted to prove yourself and then come back and be like, okay, now I am worth something.
More. Yeah,
I'm going to work hard. Yeah, I'm going to bring more people in because now they know that you have a champion.
No. I wasn't thinking about that. I wasn't in sales yet. I was in more of like self-promotional. Like you get the better quality for for what you're paying, so you should pay a little more.
Were you in high school at that point?
I was in high school, yes.
Were you attending high school?
I wasn't, of course.
Good for you.
I was attending high school. I graduated Morrow High. And I went to Pace University.
Look at you!
I dropped out because I was representing the United States at British Open, came back, and they failed me in 3 classes for absence. And there was nothing I could say because it wasn't one of the major sports. When today, Pace University, all these decades, unfortunately later, Pace University has one of the top dance programs in the country.
You should go back and demand your diploma.
You should say that louder, and this
Pace,
would
give
start
the man his diploma.
No, not
Look
my
what
diploma.
he's done
Like,
for
give
your
me-
school.
Let me get back in it.
Let him
I'll
get back
my own
into the
diploma.
program, and then he'll earn his own diploma.
There you go.
Man's a hard worker. And by God, he's got some good vodka.
This is great vodka.
This is great vodka.
product.
So how important is vodka in Ukrainian culture?
I mean, this is when people ask me why vodka. It's because that's my, that kind of like what we grew up with, around, very humble blue collar community, from Ukraine over to another very humble blue collar community over in East Brooklyn, Coney Island area. That's my life. And so what I saw on the weekends, because of my job as a dancer, putting on the show, but also because my community was that. I saw, weekend celebrations in a restaurant, which is a dinner and a show, right? And it's celebrating, wedding, mourning, a funeral, it's graduation, it's somebody's birthday, it's like I said, somebody's passing. So it's a lot of mixed emotions in one room, represented by a bunch of tables. And one thing is constant is the shots. Here's a shot for life. Here's a shot for meeting each other finally. Here's a shot for, for his passing. Here's not a shot because, you don't shot for, you don't do a kind of cheers for someone's passing, but you still, have a symbolic way of represented in something kind of liquor consumption. All of it was vodka.
Yeah.
All of that. I never saw brown drinks. I've never seen, it was champagne for New Year's Eve, and everything else was vodka. Tetra Kapa actually is the name of my actual aunt, who amongst that lifestyle was a lady that just was never drunk. And she gave me the little secret of how to, take shots and not get drunk. And every couple of shots, you take a little scoop of butter or something oily.
Really?
And you coat your trachea and your digestive tract. And so you 80% of why you get drunk is from the vapors going into your bloodstream.
I had no idea.
And so you coat it with something
Yeah.
oily, and you just basically go into your bladder, you piss it out, you get less drunk.
Now
So-
you know. So that's great. So that's
A
how
lot
you
of
drink
stuff.
people under the table.
That's
It's
how you
not
do
just
it.
like sneaking in shots of water. I've seen people do that.
No. Why would you want to dilute a
Butter
great
or
product?
oil. That's great. So my grandmother, my mom came over from Romania, and they, very similarly, when they got here, like they made sure wherever they moved, it was with the Romanian community. So there had to be a Romanian Orthodox church, and they had to move with people where they could all speak the same language and help each other out and babysit each other's kids.
Yeah.
And my grandmother, I love my grandma so much, God rest her soul. But she would take cherries, she'd take a can of cherries with the syrup and then pour a bottle of Everclear on the cherries.
Yes.
And then put a little sugar in and leave it for a year.
Everclear.
And then she would stir it up and she would call it her cherry brandy.
That's exactly. I mean,
and then we all
becomes
had
that.
to drink it on Easter.
Listen, a
Cristo San Viat, and then you had to
a lot of fermented stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, that goes back to the way, traditional things.
But that's what I love about the butter is like we've gotten so far over our skis in terms of like being reliant on too much technology and Western medicine and AI. Like you got to go back to your grandma. Like
Isn't
they
that
knew
the truth?
how to fix
You're
a
right.
broken heart.
Yes.
They knew how to hold a grudge. They knew.
They tell you
things
how
that
not to get wasted.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. No, they know everything. Like all those traditional things. We all know lemon and ginger and honey when you get sick to boost your immune system. We also know a shot of vodka with said lemon and honey as well. When you're feeling under the weather, paired with a sauna, the right type. Not some kind of steam room, and not traditional. So everything goes back there. Everything in my life had to be quality. I'm not trying to boast myself or keep saying why this product, but it's vodka, it's dancing, it's dance studio business, it's whatever it is, whatever I'm representing. I don't want to say that it's the best in the world ever. ever. I never want to say that because that's not my goal. But my goal is that, I under promise and over deliver. That's key to life in my opinion. And you'll never not be successful if that's how you're driven. So
were you ever at Chippendale?
Actually, my wife and I were just last weekend, Memorial Day weekend. What is it? Memorial Day weekend. We're in Vegas and we saw a friend who's one of the cast members at Magic Mike.
Oh yeah.
And we had that conversation, and she's like, "Baby, would you Chippendale?" Or I don't know what she brought up. You know that they have
the Thunder from Down Under.
Under. No, I think Magic Mike was much more PG version.
Oh, okay.
I would definitely be open to doing that. They have great dancing.
Yeah.
That's they don't take the pants off a lot.
No, the Thunder from Down Under guys, they'll get you pregnant.
They'll do stuff, right?
Old ladies. They'll get old ladies pregnant.
Yeah.
Like that's, the Australians are wild.
Yeah, I'm 1,000% not getting anybody pregnant.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
Sure.
You've got quality. You got quality control.
No, I have my hands full. That's what, it's just not
How old
plausible.
are your guys' kids?
8 and 2 under 2.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
yes.
that is all hands on deck.
It's too many hands, yeah.
So it's like when you're doing shots, you need the butter because you got to
one is now
play defense.
Exactly. And the middle one is now walking, so he doesn't get the hands as much, but he makes the most noise.
Is he the one that when he walks, he runs?
He runs everywhere. He doesn't know where he's running, but he's going.
And do you guys fly on planes together?
What meaning?
Do you travel together? Like, do you travel with your small kids?
Would rather take separate planes, but no, we have to fly in the same one, unfortunately. Just listen to that with all
it's
the
like
other passengers.
Kids that age are the hardest to travel with.
Actually, I have to admit, I keep want to knock on every wood, I see, but we've been, how you get lucky with kids?
Yeah.
People say that. I've always been like, no, it's about the parents. We got lucky. We got lucky with kids.
No, I've seen good parents with wild children.
Right?
Yes.
And I'm like, thank God our kid's not like that.
Yeah.
But, Peter had gone through more. She's gone through, her proximity with them is a lot more. So the time she spends, so she had a plane where, I don't know which one Shy, I think, when he was little, threw up on her. Yeah. If I was thrown up on in the beginning of a plane ride, it would be the most scarring experience of my life. I'm not dainty, I'm not fluffy, but it would ruin this experience.
That's a bummer. Yeah, that's a bummer.
I'd be like, this is now over, and that's it. I'm never going to recover.
I had a child barf during takeoff.
That's
awful.
and
I got up and ran to the bathroom, and as fast as I could pulled out as many paper towels as I could possibly, like that crazy mom strength that allows you to lift a car off a child. Like that, I pulled as many out, and the flight attendant, and it's a small plane because we were just flying to Buffalo, and he's screaming at me. He's like, "Ma'am, sit down now!" And I was
you're holding a barfing child.
Believe me, you want me to clean this up because you don't want it to go to the back of the plane.
It's gonna go, and
I am helping you,
and it's not just gonna go down the plane and stay there. It's gonna leave the trail.
Yeah.
It's gonna. Oh my God!
It's like the blob.
And then you sit like 4 rows down, and it has nothing to do with you, but you're still in it.
Yeah, and you feel bad, and there's nothing you can do at that point except sip good vodka.
I gotta admit, I've never been I don't think I've ever been a part of that type of situation in a plane. I fly all the time. I don't want to jinx it.
No. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yep. No, you don't want to jinx it because then the next time you fly, you'll be like, oh, we were just talking about this because people are crazy now.
We did fly with Shy. He was, I think, about to turn 1, and we flew to Perth.
Yep.
And it was the first.
Did you stop in Sydney or Melbourne and then go to Perth?
In Hong Kong.
Oh.
And there was an 11-hour flight, and then another 6-hour flight, some craziness like that. And in the first 3 hours, Peter was unavailable. She was filming a movie. And we got on the plane, and I'm with Shy, and I'm going like this. And I'm just trying to, because he wouldn't sleep, and he's now crying, and it's our first child, and I'm freaking out about everything. Anyway, so she was sleeping, and I come in. I woke her up, and I'm like this. She's like, looks at me. She's like, what? I'm like, this was the worst freaking idea ever. and I don't want to talk about it. And then walked away. And I kept walking like this in the aisles.
But I just need you to know.
I wanted her to know.
Yeah, I
this
need
is
you to know.
terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm not saying we're trading places.
No,
because
but
I
now-
can do it,
but
and
now-
I'm fine with it.
yeah, no,
but
now-
you just need to know.
Now with 3, I look at my brother who has 1.
Yeah,
And I'm like, bro,
yeah,
stop it. Come on. No problem.
yeah.
Come on.
Come back in 2 years, and then we'll discuss.
Don't go anywhere. More Kennedy Saves the World right after this.
How has dance worked its way into your family? In terms of you and Peter, are you still dancing together, making that sweet,
Yes, we
sweet
are.
horizontal mambo that everyone knows and loves?
We are. We dance a lot. We have fully integrated into the influencer market. I don't want to say it. It's funny, but the reality of the life that we live, right? We get to stay in the present, right? Mm-hmm. Without necessarily having a television job, and still promote ourselves.
And provide
right?
content and everything else.
But most importantly, also control the narrative, if you will, right? So you get me on my social media with my wife dancing. Yeah, those are little snippets. They don't represent our professional, integrity. But still, yes, and that process alone gets us to do stuff together, instead of just leave dancing for when it's a job.
Yeah.
We try to make it our every day.
Oh.
We don't get to do it every day, for sure. Kids took a long time away.
Do they love when you dance, or do they think you're nerds?
They love it. Shy runs up. The little ones start tapping. Mostly our dog doesn't let us, but now everybody's trained to stay away and let mom and papa film some videos.
Nice. I love it.
Nah, it makes sense. Life has been amazing. And, and so Dancing with the Stars today, I think, celebrating the 20th anniversary.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was the day of the premiere of the first season 1, which was, I think, pilot season, 6 hours of television time. And then at season 2, when I joined, it became full-blown 10 weeks, twice a year.
Yeah. And it's gnarly. I mean, that's a big time commitment. The people I know who've done that show, they're exhausted. They're often injured. They're pushing their bodies in ways a lot of people think that they can go to a wedding and do the cha-cha and they're fine. But it's my God, is it completely different?
Because TV and that's your brethren, What I didn't know is that when I signed up on the show all those years back, first of all, to say, that's the reason why I'm here. That's the reason why we're here. Isn't it crazy? You have a dance show on television everybody was making fun of, while I was there.
It goes to show
going into season 36 or something crazy like that.
But it's universal. That's why I love it. My friend Bobby Bones won.
That's right. Yeah. Bobby won.
And I've known him since 2012 when he was kind of a random country DJ, and then he just blew up, and because of his loyal audience, he won the whole damn thing.
He won the whole damn thing. Our friend Shauna was his partner.
Yeah.
She won the whole damn thing. Also not my wife's fellow Australian.
Nice.
No, but the show has changed a lot of lives. It put a lot of people on the map. On the dancers' side, it gave us the house and the life and the opportunities for the mostly from
Did you know
me.
each other beforehand, or did you and Peter meet on the show?
We met because I was on Dancing with the Stars, got an opportunity to be on Broadway, to star in a show and a production that Peter was a part of. And when they came
and you were like, there's a hot potato.
Well, I had a fiance, she had a boyfriend, so there was no hot potato.
Oh. But you had a simmering
But it was
connection.
it was like hello and goodbye.
Yeah.
But now you've seen me, you will never forget me.
That's right.
And then when I came back into the show sometime later, already as a single person, she was still not single.
Oh.
So there was still kind of simmering going on.
Yeah.
But by the time we were both single, it was just obvious.
Yeah,
that
it was
this
on.
gonna-
It was like
yeah,
there's
it was on.
It's like gravity, like entering into a black hole. There's no you cross the event horizon. It's
Yeah, but
destiny.
I am proud of us, you
Yeah.
know, and I mean first and obviously foremost us, me and Peter, but I also mean my brother. I'm proud of Val.
Valentin, yeah.
I'm proud of Jenna, his wife now,
Yeah.
you know, my sister-in-law. I'm proud of dancers, the three, I would say, generation of dancers now, that have also been a major part of Dancing with the Stars' success.
Who's crazier, dancers or the celebrities who come on the show?
Celebrities, obviously.
Like Hope Solo, right? That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Stop it.
We're
We're celebrating things.
Yeah,
We're celebrating.
I'm on your side here, okay?
A lot of people were.
Yeah, she might have been unwell at points in her life, but it just goes to show that's how people love it. That's why people love watching it on TV, because there is so much emotion. It's not just the performances that you have before a live audience. It's all the other stuff that goes into it.
True, yes. When I joined the show, I asked, what is my job? I was told, erroneously at that time, I'm going to say it, I was told it is to give your partner the best chance at winning. Mm-hmm. And why I say erroneously is because that's not the show. That's not my job. The job of a professional dancer is to give the celebrities the best experience.
Okay.
And what that means is that you have to not just teach them dance and dance steps and then bow out, that's not my responsibility, but you got to lead them through this emotional roller coaster too.
Yeah.
You have to be the shoulder to cry on. You have to be the person that they run to with that, oh my God, I can't believe it, they spoke so badly of me. What do you think? You know what I mean? I was just not ready. Year 10 of Dancing with the Stars, we had the same conversation. What is my job? Okay, well, now your job is this. So that type of job description early in the game would have caused very different Max on television. I have to be honest.
What kind of Max would we have seen?
Well, you would probably see the same, you know, abrasive and hot-headed, but in terms of the work ethic, in terms of where I direct myself, I would probably be a little softer. You know, I would still want to win. I would still be upset that, you know, it's very lopsided in terms of your opportunities if you're not with a partner that can even be in the finale. Like, but there's no fight. There's no, what are you fighting for? Yeah. But I would be okay with that. But I would be more, I don't know, I would be more able to make relationships work. Maybe Hope Solo would not have had that bad season. Maybe she would have had somebody who was like, listen, boo.
Maybe she needed
not that, you know,
psychotherapist and not a
right. But she got a dance teacher who's trying to make something out of nothing, and you know, and then defends that because you know.
Are athletes the hardest because they've been famous the longest?
No, I think the TV stars are the hardest.
Yeah.
Not TV, but I'm saying like the movie, the actors.
Yeah.
Let's say that the actors. I think the actors are the ones that have always relied on a character, and dance exposes you.
Yes.
You know, and so you're no longer a character, you have to be you because it's so hard. You can't just, you know, act the steps. You have to do them. You have to do that move, and you have to sweat through it. And while you're sweating, it's not very sexy to play a character, to play a role. So I think it's very exposing.
Yeah.
I think athletes are used to hard work.
Okay.
They're harder to probably show emotion if they don't have it. Mm-hmm. But if the casting is correct, and I think that has been...
Who's your favorite?
My partner or in general?
Someone who you've danced with on the show.
I mean, Meryl Davis I won with.
Yeah, that's right. And it took a while.
She'll always get my flowers for that fact. But I've had a fantastic time with Kirstie Alley. You know, rest in peace. Yeah. We did some memorable things. I'm going. Mel B is my girl. I had an incredible time with.
But she had a lot of experience with choreography.
She had like step here, step click, like that, maybe a 2-step. But no, she was talented in picking up choreography without given it too much thought. She would
Okay.
just show me
Oh,
what to
yes.
do.
I
I'll
bet
do
people
it
are in
and
their
move on.
heads, like, overthinking everything.
Exactly. There's some people who would have been better had they not taken it that serious.
Do you think people would be better if they had a little bit of Tetra Kappa?
100%. Although there's an actual, I'm not going to name who it was. Maybe it's actually public knowledge. I don't know. But there was a celebrity who would just like get super stiff and tight. But a lot of them were, but this one particularly. And it was just coming to the end of their season, and it was just like if they wouldn't produce a fun number, it would be it. And so I think we came up and was like, hey, why don't you just like take a shot of some kind of alcohol? And they did. And but we didn't say how much, and we just said, look, just take a little, soften up, whatever. That person got super drunk and ruined that step, that routine. It would have been bad anyway, but it backfired.
A little bit of moderation goes a long way.
Yo,
but
for
if people
sure.
can't check
For
themselves, they're
sure.
like, well, if a little is good, a lot's even better.
Yeah, it's like, once it goes down, like the old school. Yeah, no, it's
Was it
it's
Tucker
science.
Carlson?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
No,
Was it Geraldo?
Tucker Carlson didn't have to. I think it was just like one episode.
Yeah, he was one
out.
and done. Yeah.
Yeah, he was one and done.
Yeah. The show is not necessarily kind to political types.
No, it's the types that have no hip action.
I
That's
don't know.
not
I don't
kind
know
to.
how you undo that.
You give because you don't. You have. It's if you do this, you have to give it your whole effort. If you're gonna do it and try to do it comfortably, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And you're gonna expose yourself, and that's again maybe Tucker was like, look, I'm so stiff, you're not gonna unstiff me. But if you tried, if you gave it an effort,
Maybe got an elbow in that piriformis.
maybe it would have been the piriformis, elbow
Yeah.
to the piriformis.
Yeah.
Always works.
You're telling me.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, Max, and your family, and your dancing, and delicious vodka. And on that, we will leave you. This has been Kennedy Saves the World, along with Max Chmerkovskiy. I'm Kennedy.
Listen ad-free with the Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app.
Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say.
You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.